Well, it probably went about like you hoped, right? There's some highlights for the offense, highlights for the defense, and so obviously both sides of the ball have reasons to be optimistic and happy about some performances of some guys, but there's obviously a guarantee a number of plays on both sides of the ball that'll have the coordinators pretty frustrated and the position coaches, and obviously that means you got a competitive team, a competitive roster. Anytime it's completely one-sided for one side of the ball or the other, that usually spells trouble on that other side of the ball, and so we'll dig into the film and see where we're at, and obviously we know we got a long way to go to be a polished product by the season time, but that's what the off season's for, and so we got a lot of time to get healthy now. We got to get some guys healthy. We got to get back in the weight room and in the summer, and then we got to get ready to go for fall camp.
You got to see Will take some deep shots today. Your thoughts on his ability to do that?
Yeah, it's interesting. If you dig into the numbers from last year, and I won't bore you guys to death with all of it, but he's actually one of the most accurate passers of Power 5 quarterbacks when the ball was pushed, targeted 20 yards or more down the field. And so, obviously, if you can run the ball effectively, and if you have the ability to do some play action, build some play action off of that, and 7-man protections, that allows your quarterback to set up and have time to push the ball down the field. And you still got to be able to do it, obviously, in 10 personnel looks too. And so he's a real accurate passer when he pushes the ball down the field, and we're encouraging him to, be aggressive and not reckless. I tried to tell him the other day. I like to think of myself when I was a defensive play caller as I was an aggressive blitzer, maybe not a reckless blitzer, even though there's probably quite a few clips to prove otherwise. I told him I think that should be his mindset as a quarterback too, and throwing the ball. Be aggressive, just not reckless.
When you have the speed on the field with a guy like Xavion and a guy like Tua, how much does that help when you to be able to push the ball down the field?
You can't coach speed. You can't coach. It's pretty simple, right? I mean, if you got speed at receiver, it means you better have speed in the secondary to cover guys like that. It forces you to play a whole lot of soft zone, and so it's good to have speed.
I know it's only spring, but are you seeing the glimpses of maybe the offense trying to, establish an identity out there? Guys who are committed to the run, and like you said, Will's taking some deep shots.
Yeah, I think the coaches are also identifying what do we do best, right? I mean, I don't think you can establish an identity until you know, hey, these are our best players, and these are what we execute the best. And so we're still identifying, what run schemes are we best in, what type of passing game, is it play action pass, is it run RPO world? And so obviously we're doing a whole lot of everything right now, so we can evaluate everyone in all the different roles and figure out what we do best.
Even with Woody and Simeon not playing today, you still had a lot of success on the ground with Seth and Jeffrey. Just your thoughts of their performance today?
Yeah, they did a nice job. I mean, sometimes the running back's got to know when you just got to get north and south and get what's there, right, and not try to bounce everything or hit the home run. I mean, the fact of the matter is 4 yards or more on first down is a pretty efficient run, right? And so I think the guys did a good job of getting downhill when it was there. And obviously that means if the guys up front did a good job of creating movement at the line of scrimmage and creating some push on the D-line. Now, obviously, we're a little thin right now on the defense. You saw us playing a 2 defensive line group the whole time. Unfortunately, because of injuries and guys getting rolled up on and stuff up to this point, the defense we're having to operate with a 4 linebacker group and manufacture some of our D-line stunts with actually a stand-up linebacker and nose guard. So that helps out too. That helps you run the football too. But it was good. I mean, obviously, if you're going to run a football, you got to gain yards and you got to be effective doing it.
You've talked a lot about the pro players that have come out of this state specifically, but really from Mississippi State too, and you had a ton of them here today. Jeffrey Simmons, Willie Gay, Dak Prescott, guys like that. What's that mean to have those guys back on campus and being around the program a little bit too?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, obviously we want an open door policy. We want those guys around as much as we can possibly have them. Because they gave a lot to this university, and they're putting us on the map with what they're doing at the next level. And B, I mean, the fact of the matter is they've invested a whole lot of effort, time, blood, sweat, and tears in this program, right? And they deserve to be welcome back here. And so we're awfully proud of them. I mean, I take great pride. You hear the stat, right, of 28 Bulldogs in the NFL. 19 of them either played high school football or junior college football in the state of Mississippi. Right? And I've said it ever since I became the head coach here, and I think even back when I was a defense coordinator. As long as we keep the best players in the state of Mississippi coming to Mississippi State, the future of this program is incredibly bright.
Obviously, you've got he's still just a redshirt freshman. I know he's still got a lot of learning to do, but what are you seeing from Calvin Dinkins this spring?
Yeah, Dink's doing good. He's one of them guys who got a little banged up early, so he missed a couple practices. And then he got him back, and then obviously we got some other guys banged up, so he had to play a whole bunch of reps. I think last scrimmage he probably got close to 50 reps, and I bet you today he probably got more than that. And most D linemen can't handle that workload, and so we're incredibly excited. He's probably about as strong as guy we got in the program, and so we're excited. I mean, he's going to have to play for us this year.
What do you make of where your linebackers are at right now? I mean, obviously you know what you're going to get with a guy like Buki, but it seemed like, Deshaun Page and John Lewis are coming along pretty well.
Yeah, obviously, Buki and Jet played a whole bunch of snaps. Right, Buki didn't really play hardly any today, but Deshaun has continued to flash and build on what he's shown his entire time here. I've said it before. I probably didn't play him enough when I was a linebacker coach, and I think there's things we probably look at. He could have helped us in some situations even last year, and so it's nice to know that we can count on it at the very minimum 3-man rotation at those two, Mike and Will positions between those three guys. Then obviously we've got to replace Tyrus Wheat as our Sam linebacker. Tyrus and Sherman Timms, played every snap really the last couple of years, and now those guys are gone, and so you hear about the competition between JP and John Lewis, and the fact of the matter is both guys are going to play. Why don't we let you go since you've been getting cut off? Okay.
It only took about 4 or 5 plays for Tulu to make that big play on the outside. How do you like the way Coach Barbe has found ways to use him going into the regular?
Well, he's doing exactly what he said his philosophy was in the first place, right? Identify your most explosive players are, and then how to get them the ball in space. All right. Obviously, we know Will's tremendous at distributing the ball through the passing game, but there's a lot of other ways you can get those guys, right? That was a reverse that he took, 40-something. They did a nice little shifter trade into a new formation they hadn't shown the defense, and the defense didn't quite adjust properly. And 90% of big plays most of the time are because you can't even get lined up properly to start on the defense side of the ball. And so it's a good job, good game plan by the offense. Got the ball to most explosive guy with the ball in his hands, and he did the rest.
You just wrapped up your first spring. I mean, what's kind of the adjustment been like, leading to this point, and how has that kind of gone for you as obviously head coach?
Well, now instead of just watching the defensive film after practice, I got to watch all 3 phases, so it takes a little longer to evaluate.
Coach,
So,
with the, go ahead.
obviously, with dovetailing off of that, how would you maybe initially assess your coaching staff as far as just getting plays in and getting on and off the field? Did you like how everything was set up, the organization for your staff, being in that game atmosphere and doing things like that?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Our 2 coordinators, Coach Barber and Coach Brock. They're incredibly organized, efficient guys. I mean, the fact of the matter is they're a lot better at that than I am, and so I lean on them heavily for that. Obviously we're not trying to operate at tempo speed today because that increases your play count, and we're pretty thin up front on the defensive front side, and so all that would have led to a higher increase of injury, and that didn't make no sense. All right, so we were trying to keep the play range at a specific amount today, and we did a good job of that. But no, we've been done a nice job all spring of being organized and getting efficient work out of our practices.
What do you think about the turnout today and the atmosphere that the fans created this? You said you wanted to make it a game, and you gave them a game to watch.
That was good. It was good. I mean, obviously, anytime we get a chance to change the scenery and line up in front of a crowd and play a little football, you get a little bit more excitement and buy-in from the players than just going out to practice in the middle of the afternoon when it's hot and you're counting on a stereo blaring music to hopefully bring a little excitement and energy to practice.
Mayor.
Yes.
And with practice, since the beginning of spring practice, what have you seen progress and get better from the start of then to where you are now?
Well, obviously we've gotten better running the football, right? I mean, we've installed new schemes, right? Inside zone, outside zone, duo, gap schemes, right? Speed sweeps. We saw some of that today, and so obviously that takes some learning from your offensive line because those are different techniques that are required to execute all of those schemes, and so we've done a nice job there. And then obviously we've improved our play action pass game off of that, right? Because that's new protections. And then Will's done obviously a really nice job. He's got so many reps built up in a 10 personnel world where you're spreading the defense out sideline to sideline a lot. Is now when those formations get condensed like that, that allows the defense to bring new pressures or hold disguises and shells that they can't do when you have them spread out, right? So it opens up your playbook for some things offensively, but it also opens up the defensive playbook a little bit. And so I think he's really enjoying the intellectual side of learning all that and increasing his knowledge of the game and the offense. And then defense, we're continuing the schemes we've been running, so we got to get some guys playing like seniors who played for us last year and who are now gone, right? We got to improve in the secondary a little bit. Just little things like getting lined up right when the formation changes, make a shift or a trade, right? Knowing exactly how to react. It cost us today on some plays because we did not adjust properly. But up front, we're pretty experienced, so those guys they need to be the bell cows who lead the way.
What did you think of Ty Cooper this spring, and obviously being at tight end, and how has that kind of gone from your perspective?
Nah, Ty's a worker, man. I mean, you know what you're getting when you get a kid out of Louisville High School, right? And so we asked him if he'd be interested in trying out some tight end because, we were trying a bunch of guys out there. And then we had a need on the defensive line and said, hey, we really could use you more now moving back to the defensive front. And because he's an incredibly intelligent guy, too, and he's not afraid of work and being a tough guy, half the plays he's really playing an outside linebacker Sam position. The other half the plays he's playing a D-line position, and yet he's able to handle that and also physically tough enough to mix it up there. So you like having guys like that in your program.
You've had so many changes in college football, the transfer portal, NIL, and all that stuff, and it's opening back up again. But how do you feel like you as a first-year head coach and the staff is handling some of these changes and the landscape of college football?
I think we're doing a good job. In fact, I failed to mention this in a previous answer, so I'm glad you mentioned the staff. But, we got over 100 years SEC experience between the on-field coaching staff and our off-the-field staff. And I think you're seeing that pay great dividends in our recruiting right now. We got some former head coaches who are doing a tremendous job for us in off-the-field roles, and they're guys that I can lean on and look to advice, and because they've been in situations like this before. And obviously it's an ever-changing landscape in football, and so our message to fans obviously is the most important thing you do right now if you want to support Mississippi State football is support the Bulldog Initiative.
Coach, can you talk about the development of Corey Ellington? He's been here a couple of years. He's making some plays out there in the secondary. How did you see him grow?
Yeah, Corey, I appreciate Corey because his knee's a little bit swollen and puffy right now. He could have decided to probably sit out today, but he was willing to take a day off yesterday and get himself ready and go one more day today and not miss any plays. And so, Corey, from when he showed up from Holmes County, I think when he first got on campus, he probably gained 15, 20 pounds of muscle. He looks like how you want a safety to look, and he's been a good player for us, and it's obviously his time to put his stamp on the secondary back there. And so, we got to have competition. There's guys pushing him for a role, but I would assume he should have the inside track on the starting job if he doesn't let no youngster come up and take it from him.
You had some unique team names today with the Wingo, the Golding family. Just talk a little bit about those and what they mean, why the team names.
Yeah, we wanted to honor a couple families who have been longtime loyal supporters of Mississippi State Athletic Department and the university as a whole. Obviously, the fact of the matter is, anytime this university's been in need, or those families have answered the call. And like I said earlier, right? We all know in the world of college sports right now, there's a lot of needs, and we're going to need the fan base and all those people who love Mississippi State football, Mississippi State Athletic Department. People out there cheering Cowboys, we're going to need them to continue to answer the call. And so my deepest gratitude goes to all those people who continue to support our football program and the Bulldog Initiative.
All right. One last one. Coach, what do you hope to get out of Kamari Rogers? He came in from Miami. Of course, he made that play today with the INT, another Holmes County kid. What do you expect from him? What do you see from him this spring?
Yeah, it's always good to get a talented young man from the state of Mississippi back playing at Mississippi State, right? And I know that's his second interception in a scrimmage setting, right? He had one in our first scrimmage, I believe, and then he just had another one today. And I think I've heard Forbes talking about it, but some DBs get PBUs and some DBUs get interceptions, right? And I don't really believe that you can coach that. Some guys have ball skills and go up and get it and play it like they're the receiver, and other guys don't. And it's good when you recruit guys who have ball skills.
How do you think the offense looked today? What's your overall kind of assessment of how that spring game went?
I thought we did some good things. I think there's definitely things that we need to work on, whether it just be like fine little details of, the receivers and I being on the same page versus, open field coverage, closed field coverage, whatever it might be. But we did some good things. We put some good things on tape, but there's also a lot of things we can learn from.
Did you see, glimpses from Xavier throughout last season? season. I know he wasn't, in the offense too much, but did you see glimpses where you thought that, this spring could be a really big one for him to kind of break out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even from the first day in fall camp when he was, going with the freshmen, going with some of the younger guys. I mean, guys would say that he was just the guy sticking out, kind of in that freshman group. But obviously, you can see he can make a lot of big plays. Whether it be down the field or jet sweeps or whatever it is. He's got some of the same things that Tulu has. With the ball in his hands, he's like lightning in a bottle. So, the more we can get him the ball, I think we're going to be in a good play if we can get him the ball.
Had a big 50-yard pass to him, and I mean, you're getting out there scrambling. Look at the footwork was good. I mean, how do you feel in this offense?
Feel good. Yeah. I mean, like I've said, man, it's just football. Past 3 years, I've been asked to do a little bit something different. So a lot of people don't think I can do it, but like I tell people all the time, man, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been playing football for a long time. So I feel like I can do anything that a coach needs me to do.
Going off that, Will, talk about your leadership, especially this year with all the changes like you just mentioned. And you played a lot, so you're adjusting to new offense and so is the rest of the team. How have you kind of just taken that leadership role and trying to guide guys through this while also learning yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just kind of have to take it, kind of take it by the horns, take the bull by the horns. And, obviously we're all learning a new offense. We're all learning a new scheme. So, I have to be the one up there before everybody else. And, I have to know the playbook. So, I mean, I can't ask Xavion or Tulu to know this play if I don't know the play. So, I try to lead by example. I want to see those guys. I want those guys to see me putting in hard work. So, they kind of know the standard that this offense wants to play to. And then, I mean, obviously you said leadership, but we have a big group of seniors. I mean, I don't know how many it is, but, you look around, Buki, Jet, Crumity, Jordan Davis, I mean, Cole Smith, Woody. I mean, you could go on and on. We have a lot of guys that have played a lot of ball together. This is our 4th year together. So, I think there's a standard that we're trying to uphold for the whole team, not just us seniors. I think there's a standard that we're trying to put out that, we play hard, we play fast, we play physical here at Mississippi State.
Coach Arnett and Coach Barbet have talked a lot about the importance of, just the play action pass. I guess how different is that for you, and what do you think that it does for your offense?
I mean, it's definitely different. You can getting in 11, getting in 12 personnel, play action, deep shots, whatever the concept may be. But it's just, like I said, it's just football. It's not that hard to learn. Either that guy's open or he's not. So I guess the biggest thing that took me long to learn, the biggest thing that I had to take a step learning is just the terminology. I knew this guy was supposed to be in this spot on this play, but learning the pro style terminology and then you add a shift or a motion with it. So it can sound crazy when you're looking at it, reading it in the playbook on the first day, but it's pretty simple, just different terminology.
With all those changes, there's a lot of eyeballs on the program. What are you looking forward to most to show people this season? It's a pretty monumental season for you all.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of a lot of us last ride. We've been playing together for 4 years. We played a lot of ball together. We've won some games for this university. So, I think if you ask that group of seniors and a lot of those guys, I mean, I think that they would want to say that we want the eyes on us this year. We want to play in big games. We want the pressure on us. And we want it to be hard. So I think that goes to show that we've done a lot of good things over the last couple of years, and we're a tight group that's played a lot of ball together.
Not just from your perspective, but I feel like the offensive line is adjusting to one formations, different formations, having 2 tight ends, somebody beside them. How are they adjusting to that change?
Well, in the past 3 years with Coach Leach, I mean, the pressure was kind of on the defensive line because they had to rush the passer every play, and those big guys don't like to run every single play. Well, it's kind of reversed now. Now it's kind of on the offensive line, to really get off the ball, move guys, whether it be stretch, inside zone, outside zone, duo, counter. I mean, we have so many run concepts now. But, whatever it may be, I think it's on the offensive line now to kind of, really move guys. And then, obviously, you add 1 and 2 tight ends in there. You get an extra hat in the box. and you're that much closer to popping a big run.
When you guys, first met up, it was higher to now, I guess, how much more comfortable have you grown, working with, Coach Barbe and being out on the field with him?
No, definitely. I mean, I think, like I said, I kind of learned it. I learned it fairly quick, the playbook and things like that. But to get out here in the scrimmages and see it in a live rep, a live team rep, and our defense is so complex because they do so much movement pre and post snap. So, I think we've seen about every look you can possibly see with these plays. So it's really good to get out here, live team rep, live scrimmage, and get to see how these plays are going.
With all the reps that you have gotten in the spring, pretty much wrapped up, I guess, how excited are you about the potential? Like, you saw some flashes. As a QB, it's like, man, we can get that more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
How excited do you think this offense can be?
Yeah, I mean, this offense, the sky's the limit for us, man. We can be as good as we want to be, I think, like I said, we have so many things to work on, but, as we get into summer workouts, summer OTAs, I think we'll really be able to clean up some of those things, and, I think we'll be night and day difference come fall camp and September 2nd.
You gonna invite Tulu to some of those throwing sessions?
He will be there. He will be there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, my gosh. Him and Seth. Good night. He said he played quarterback at Philadelphia. Like, what? No. Yeah, I guess so. I thought we should have put Creed in there. Creed can throw it a little bit, I guess, but yeah. I'm sure he can. He can do anything you want him to.
Yeah, I guess to start off, what was it like for y'all to get back at Davis Wade Stadium, kind of get some feel of a real game since the coaching change?
It's just amazing. Had the fans come out and watch us perform. We've been practicing, preparing to put on a show for the fans on this day. So it's just an honor.
What was the biggest thing, I guess, you could take away from a day like this, especially like a guy like you who's been around the block and knowing how springs are supposed to go, games, practices, et cetera? What was you kinda take away from this?
Just competing. We talked about straining past 2 weeks, so like having the guys bust their tail, lay out for tackles, have running back run through tackling and all that. Just be able to compete against each other and get better each day.
Deshaun, it seemed like you were all over the field today. Just tell me about how you were feeling, how much kind of progressed the last couple of years.
Just like Boogie said, we've been preaching strain for the past 2 weeks. So it's just been locked in my head since then. So it's been good.
John, for you, last couple of years kind of working your way in, now you're getting a ton of reps and getting a chance to play a good bit, have some big plays today. What's it been like working yourself into this situation where, your reps have increased and you're being asked to do a little bit more this year?
Just be prepared, step up when the time is, stay working hard.
What'd you learn the last 2 years?
I learned a lot from T. Wheat, Sherm, past guys when I was here. I even learned from Boogie, when he played Sam a little bit. It's just, just got to pay attention, pick up things fast, just play football.
Deshaun, last year you pretty much solidified yourself in the rotation, and obviously you'll still be a big part of it this year. But with Jet out this spring, you really got to get some more reps under your belt. How much? Obviously they're pretty confident out there today. How much did that help you this spring to get all those reps?
It helped a lot. Last year I felt I was a little hesitant on most plays, so that helps me. Just being in a room with Buki and Jet and all of them, it just helps me play faster, get the game down pat more.
John, you play in that same linebacker position. I talked to Coach Arnett, Coach Brock about it a lot this spring, and they both bragged on you and JP and how you guys push each other. And one day it's almost series by series how close y'all are. And how much is that competition help push? I know both of you gonna play a lot, but how much does that competition push you this year?
It makes you a better player. It helps a lot, chemistry, it works. Makes me better, make him better. Just push each other every day.
Dookie, I know you are familiar, obviously, with Coach Brock. Does the defense feel the same as it was? Or, Coach Arnett joked the other day that maybe he's not as aggressive as he was sometimes. What's your thoughts on what the defense is like?
It still feels the same, working with Coach Brock. And then we had Arnett first, then working with Coach Brock. Coach Brock brings a lot more intensity and, aggressiveness, but Coach Arnett still have his flaws and stuff when it comes to defense, so he always gonna chirp in on it. So it's kind of the same thing.
Deshaun, when you look at this offense that y'all went against, obviously in years past in practice,
Yeah.
How much did that prepare y'all this year for the offense, seeing so many different looks and using that during the season when you'll see different looks?
It's been good. Like you said in the past, I've seen that offense multiple times against multiple teams. So just having that experience playing against that offense is just becomes second nature to you.
What you think of the run game today, and especially with Woody getting back in the mix when camp opened?
They surprised us at first. I didn't think they were going to run it that much, but they came out ready.
We've seen, Tulu be really involved on the offensive ball. I guess how tough is he to defend, when he gets those handoffs and gets on the outside?
We just got, going against him, we just got to contain him. When he get a hold, he bursting it. So, yeah.
You like Tulu's passing though?
Nah, I told him. He don't need to pass. Running Self David, he can't pass either. I told Coach, let me get a throw.
Jay played quarterback in Knoxville. We could have let him do it.
He said he had to play for him. He didn't run today though, so. I played quarterback too though.
Are you gonna compete with the guys for a quarterback spot maybe?
I've been talking to Coach and them about it. They got a little package in. We gonna keep it. Hey, we can't get that all out.
Could you call that touchdown with two hands?
Yeah, one always better though.
What did you see on that play from Will too? About a 50-yard pass to the air. What's that say about the offense this year?
Him just having the confidence in me to let the ball go means a lot. I just had to make a play.
You guys have taken a lot of deep shots in spring practice this year. How much you feel like that's going to help the offense progress, especially with the one-on-ones y'all are getting?
Yeah, it's gonna help us a lot. By us having good running backs in the backfield, it's gonna help us out a lot.
When you reflect on, the spring so far, I guess, how much do you feel this unit has grown and become a little bit more comfortable, with the new scheme that Coach Barbe is bringing in?
We're growing a lot. I feel like we spent a lot of time with each other with Coach Bump and Coach Barbe.
When you have speed on the field, like with yourself and with Tulu, I guess, what does it kind of do for your offense?
It opened up the offense a lot, like so much.
You going to work with Tulu on his passing?
He gonna get it.
What was your overall, what was the biggest kind of takeaway from the offense today, would you say, and from the spring game just in general?
Just us getting better. That's all that really matters. Just us getting better every play.
How do you feel like that learning curve has come along since the first day of spring to
Just understanding the concepts more rather than the first day to this day. Just understanding like what route we got, what route the slot got. Just understanding everything.
How would you say y'all have kind of adjusted to Kevin Barbe's kind of new offense throughout the spring leading up to obviously today?
Coach Barbe worked with us a lot. Like he let us know a lot.
If you're able to move you around, we talked about it last week with the slot and outside, just how much does that open up your game and to be able to be that versatile?
I'm just doing whatever Coach Barbe, Coach Bump need me to do.
What's it been like working with Coach Bumpus?
It's been good. He taught me a lot. Like I've learned a lot from him since he got here.
How do you respond to Will doubting your passing skills there a little bit?
I think he hating on me because I throw better than him. That's all. That's all.
Obviously, this is, people have talked all offseason about you getting more touches, and obviously you showed a glimpse of that today, what you can do. Just how have you adjusted to this offense, and how do you feel about it?
I put in, Coach Barbe and Coach Bump, they'll tell me to come up there and do extra film and stuff like that. So he been trying to find ways to get me the ball. So it's been going good so far.
I guess how do you kind of embrace the role of being a guy that is going to be so heavily involved and so relied on in this offense?
I just stay home and do my job. That's it.
When you look at the variety of these formations, how much not just from your perspective, but the whole wide receiver being involved in the run game and still having some of the same air raid concepts in the passing game, but how long did it take to adjust to these different formations?
It took a little minute because with the air raid it was just one position, but with Barbe offense it's like you gotta learn concepts. You can't just learn plays.
That run you had, early on for the touchdown, what's it like seeing a guy like Jarius Clayton who's, kind of learning that tight end position come out there and get a big block for you?
Oh yeah, that's my dog. Every time we run that play at practice, he'll say he got me. So I just trust him and we just do it.
How much is it, with defense having a respected run game, and that allowing more one-on-ones for you guys. And we saw that today with Xavion and some others, Justin Robinson down the field. How much is that open up the offense and instead of you guys having to basically drop 8 a lot?
I mean, it opened up a lot because the safeties, they'll come down thinking it's a run, but then again, we'll pop them over the top. So
You're close with Xavion. What's it like kind of seeing his, development this spring and get plays like you saw today?
yeah, we're gonna talk about it when we get to the house. That's my dog.
Your thoughts on, you guys got a lot of new faces at receiver that graduated early, guys like Creed Whittemore, Justin Brown, and Jacoby Bellazar. Your thoughts on their spring?
Creed, JB, they been they in the receiver room. They ask questions. They do everything right. So they gonna be real good for this year.
How much you talk about you and Xavion being close, and we've seen that over the last year, but how much of y'all individually push each other on special teams to try to outdo the other?
I mean, it's crazy because if with kick return, you gotta read blocks. But if I read the wrong one, he'll get on me. But if he miss a block, I get on him. So we just be on each other back and forth.